You're right. Watch the sunrise, what a beautiful view. Good morning. Well, we're into our third day in the desert. Today will be an interesting one. I'm a little bit anxious about it. Who'd have thought you'd be doing a water crossing in the Simpson desert? You can see an exit and you certainly can see an entry, so we're going to trust that that works. It's about 6k up the road, so we'll be doing it this morning. 4 vehicles, 4 chances of getting bogged. So I think we'll get our recovery equipment out and just have it ready. We do know that a couple of cars came through yesterday, so we are confident that it's safe. So the first one here, this is just a normal clay pan. There's no water over this one. I think it's the next one or the one after where it's completely flooded. But the tracks here, you can feel the slop through the bottom of the track, so you wouldn't want to stop here. They're quite deep. I can actually feel the mud rubbing on the rear diff. I'm having trouble with my airbags at the moment. I've got a bit of a leak in the valve, and I thought I'd fixed it last night, but I don't think I have. This morning it was pretty ordinary again, so tonight I shall get new valves and put in, and hopefully that'll fix the airbag problem. Not that it changes the diff height, but it'll certainly change the height of my tow ball at the back. Stays rubbing as well, I think, in some parts. Quite deep. The 3 4-wheel drives we're about to catch up with are a small group that we stayed with last night and we're going to stay with again tonight. So we did share the track with this group for a couple of nights. Apart from that, the rest of the trip we're solo. I was very thankful to be with the group at this point.
That looks pretty deep. Are we going through that?
Yep.
Are we going to get through that?
We'll find out. So we've just got to the water crossing. Paul was the first one that attempted it and he's bogged. Damon, he's driving the FJ Cruiser. He's got the winch all set up. And he's going to pull Paul back out. Just a little bit stuck there, Paul.
With a Pia, 04, second gear, nice and steady, you've got the option. Sitting on the disc. So a little bit of pace is required, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And that's the curly bit just in front of us, not here.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Get a little tug backwards, get going again.
Your lockers are on?
No, they weren't. I put them on, but it's still stuck, it's too late.
So Paul in his 76 series is actually waiting to feel the movement of his vehicle being pulled backwards by the winch. When he feels that, that's when he tries to drive himself out with the assistance of the winch. So until he feels that movement, no acceleration. Well, looks like Paul's out. A good recovery. So what's the plan this time?
Yeah.
How fast?
Pace. Not stupid, but a bit more pace. Just got to get over that bit and carry a bit of momentum. If it doesn't work, we get pulled out again.
Well, it clearly didn't work, and with that I decided to go looking for an alternative track. You can see the area here is completely covered in water, and it would have been a lot higher than this over the previous days and weeks because of the flood. The water levels have gone down, but they've left behind really soft, boggy patches. So even though there are some patches without water, there is no way you get a vehicle through them. Editing's a wonderful thing, and it looks like I found a track very quickly and easily here, but it did take me some time searching and a little bit of reversing and trying again, but eventually I did find this track across a narrow section between two mudholes. The next challenge here was that I had to drive sideways on this dune. The bottom of the dune had been very wet for quite a period of time and was very soft. There is no way I could drive at the bottom of this dune without getting stuck. So as carefully as I could, I navigated the lowest section of this dune, which was a substantial angle. The picture certainly doesn't do it justice, and managed to find myself a track around. I was quite relieved at this point, knowing that I was going to be at the other end of the track, and both Paul and Gavin followed me through. However, while I was doing this, the other member of the group that I was travelling with for a couple of nights, Damien, decided that he would be able to get through it and didn't wait for us to find the track. We were still looking for the track when he tried this, and so he was stuck there for a little while until we got across and then helped him out. So the plan now is to get another vehicle in front of the 76 series, hook it up, and have the weight of two vehicles, preventing the slide, because that's the weak spot. 76 series being dragged down the sand dune. So we got Gav's car, the Ford Ranger, hooked up as a stabiliser vehicle to the 76 series, and then we got the two straps still to the winch on the FJ Cruiser. The FJ Cruiser's got the winch going now, taking up tension everywhere. Hopefully this will work. Well, it definitely worked, but as an exercise, I think if he had to do it again, he would have waited for us to find a track and not try to get across on his own.
Look how brown they are.
There you go. At this next water crossing, you probably can go through the middle of it. Yeah. Three of us went round and one went through the middle. Both worked. Yeah, okay. The one after it, I strongly suggest you go through the bush and around it. Yeah. Have a look at our tracks. When you get to the bottom of the hill, as you're going, it'll be on your right, you'll see our tracks, how we sort of go around right at the bottom. Follow that right, go up back onto the sand dune about probably 40 metres up, yeah, right, and you can cross without any water. Yeah. No worries. I wouldn't go through the mud. We just spent the last hour and a half pulling the last guy through, thought he could get through. It's fun when they first get stuck, yeah. But after an hour you're thinking, see you later mate, have a good one. Big flat, this one, look at that.
Oh, it's huge. It's not very as deep as the others.
track's sort of broken through into the soft stuff. Just have to plough through it. Thank God for underbody protection. We had to hammer it through there, we would all been stuck. It's like driving through water for about probably 10-15 feet. The whole of the car just slid across the mud. You could feel the wheels freewheeling, and you come out the other side because it's not that wide. We've just turned off the French line and we're heading down, I think it's Knowles to Rig Road. So we've got about I think it's between 30 and 40 kilometres this section of the track before we turn on to Rig Road. Once we're on to Rig Road, we'll start looking for a camp. It's 2 in the afternoon, so by the time we get there, it'll probably be around 3:30, maybe 4. But running down Knowles, you're sort of running between the sand dunes, so it's not so hilly, but geez, there's still a lot of ebbs and flows and a lot of rock. Speed's still probably averaging between 20 and 25 kilometres an hour. Some of the sections in here with rock, the rocks are quite big. So a lot of the bigger rocks I'm wheeling because I've got such a heavy vehicle. The back of my car, even though it's been raised, with the weight, it's sitting relatively low. And I'm wheeling the rocks rather than letting the rocks sort of pass under the diff. That way I'm protecting the diff a little bit. But I'm not having any scratches or scrapes on the plates, the underbody protection yet either. It's been an incredibly windy day today. Very interesting day. Started off with the bog. That took us about an hour, but we've driven all day. It's 5 o'clock. We left at 9, so we've had an 8-hour drive today. We've just got to a little flat area between 2 dunes. Very windy, and we'll set up camp here tonight. Have some dinner. It'll be early to bed. Another big day tomorrow. We've got about 260 kilometres to go to get to Mount Dare. Well, an earlier start today. It wasn't as early as I'd hoped. I was hoping to get away around 7:30, but we left the court at 8, which is not too bad. Happy with that. They still hadn't completely packed up, so they've probably got another hour before they go. We'll see how long it takes us to catch up. I'm guessing less than 2 hours from now, they'll have overtaken us. Today, as we pulled out onto the track, we didn't have any cameras rolling, and there was a flock of budgies, and there would have been probably the best part of, I don't know, 80 budgies to 100 budgies in it. It was just awesome to see, and I'd much rather go slow and smell the roses, so to speak. So as we're travelling down the track, you pass a little white pole, and on the white pole has identification on it, and that's what I use then to just let anybody that might be oncoming know that I'm westbound and where I am. Single vehicle westbound Rig Road, passing Rig 261. melons are absolutely everywhere. There's thousands and thousands and thousands as we rock up through the desert. This is just one vine. It's a bit of a star. So from a distance you'll see it's got star-like appearance. And at the end of each tentacle there's a couple of melons. Now we've been told these melons aren't edible. I don't know if they are. They look like a little watermelon. So you would think they would be, and something's eating them because there's holes right through them. These are the melons we're seeing everywhere in the desert. We just wanted to know what they look like on the inside. They look like a watermelon, a little baby watermelon. They don't grow much bigger than this. We've probably seen them about double that size, which is about that long and about that round, but we really haven't seen the inside yet. And we know they're not edible, so we're not going to try. So that's what they look like inside.
What are they seeds?
Even look like watermelon seeds, don't they?
I didn't know it was poison. I did it.
It smells really good. It really does. It smells like melon. Simpson smells like proper melon. Oh, but you don't want to lick it. It's got a real kick to it. Do you want some?
No.
Have a little bit. Here,
No.
I licked that one. You lick this one.
No.
No, I licked it.
I'm not looking
I
at it.
sacrificed myself
I'm
for
not
you.
looking at it.
Yep, they're not edible and they don't taste good, but they smell exactly like you'd expect a melon to smell. The lone gum tree. This medium-sized spreading tree known as the lone gum is a coolabah. The name lone gum is somewhat of a misnomer, as coolabah is the box eucalypt. Box referring to rough fibrous bark on its trunk and larger branches. The lone gum tree. Well, the birds like it. There's at least 2 nests I can see. Someone's put the hips of a camel over the fencing wire. That's pretty cool. The lone gum tree, there's 3 nests, 3 huge birds' nests in there that I can see. I don't know the type of bird that would be nesting in it. No, there's 4. So the birds like the gum. There's a baby gum next to it too. Actually, there's a few. So it is spreading its berries, so to speak. And who knows, one day could be a forest out here of gum tree, even a few koalas. Just came off the north-south section of Rig Road. We're right at the bottom of Rig Road now, heading west. It's quite gnarly, some of these dunes. There's a lot of big crevices where the water's washed out the middle. You sort of got to straddle them. But it's not too bad. It's certainly easy going compared to the French line, I reckon. The budgies have been unbelievable today. I didn't realise, I knew we'd see budgies out here, but I didn't know we'd see them in the numbers we're seeing them. We're seeing them in flocks of 100, up to 100 easy, and as small as flocks of 10 and 20. But they're everywhere, so every hill, every patch of grass, every time we move the car. Also lots of wrens. There's the desert wren, which has got an odd name, I can't remember it. And there's also fairy wrens. There's a lot of the willy wagtails, black and white ones out here as well, but there's another one that looks like a willy wagtail, different colour, but looks like a willy wagtail, but it's in the wren family as well. So yeah, there's birds everywhere. Haven't seen too many birds of prey though. Rig Road, definitely a nice, easy, calm road to drive on the sand. Is nowhere near as soft as the sand was getting to Rig Road. So that's largely as a result of the vehicles that used to service the refineries they wanted to play on the tops of the dunes just to make it a little bit easier to navigate. And to date, it's still the easier route across the Simpson Desert for sure. We've been on the road now for a couple of hours, and we're thinking it might be time for a stop and a cup of tea. We've driven all that way with the fridge open. Stupid fridge. Tell ya, that is one fridge I'll definitely be selling. 90 litre Engel. I hate it. Hate it. Had a 110 litre Dometic before this. It was awesome. And it was cheaper. If I had the money, I'd get rid of it now. But I don't. So if you're out there and you sell Dometics and you feel like sponsoring somebody, did I mention I hate Dometics? I hate Engels. I should explain myself. The fridge, it opens by itself occasionally, and other times you'll be trying to open it and the switch, we've been using it now for it's only 6 months old, and in that 6 months the little switch that you drag down has worn enough to sort of kink and not want to drag down every time. You got to push the fridge in and drag it down and wobble it about sometimes to get it open. Other times the thing vibrates open itself. We've just finished heading north on the western end of Rig Road. And we're on the last little bit of Rig Road now. We're heading west again on Rig Road. This takes us through to the WAA line. Or at least I think it's the WAA line. Nice and hard. We're over the gnarly bit. Nice soft top. We're looking for a camp now. It's 3:15. Time to find camp and settle in for the night.
All my mountains and seas, all I need from you to me. All my mountains and seas, all I need.